Hello, everybody. I'm Donna. Welcome to It's Your Time.
And
And
I'm Vicki, and welcome. And what I want to talk to you today about is learning how to value your imagination. I want to talk about an experience I had yesterday, and it just kind of it starts in your imagination, and then it just kind of starts flowing. And so, is it your imagination or is it not your imagination? There is always that question that most of us have, right? So yesterday I was feeling a little depleted. I talked to my good friend Donna, and she told me to listen to 540 hertz meditation music. So I went to bed. I put on that music. It was beautiful, by the way. And I started having a conversation in my head. It just started flowing in, and and it wouldn't stop. And so I thought I needed to write this down. So I left the headphones on with the beautiful music and I just started writing, like feeling depleted. And I knew that there was a ton of energies coming in. And so I wanted to share with you what I got. It was my conversation. When you talk to your guides and your angels and your loved ones, they speak to you very nicely. They say wonderful things about you. So if I happen to say something that's really wonderful about me, take it with a grain of salt and go, this is how they would be talking to you also. So,
that's how
I
you
I
should
am
talk
like
to
the
yourself. You should
yes, I
talk
am
to
the
yourself.
avatar for everyone, by the way. So just let you know. So I wanted to start kind of reading from what I wrote down because some of it was pretty cool, and it all started with It all started with a question that I had gotten off of YouTube, and it's like, were any of your guides actual like non-humans or humans? And the first thing that came out was, yes, we are human. Uh, And it says they were humans, ascended masters, of which I am one. And then Kuan Yin, Mother Mary, Jesus, and I just began having conversations with these people and needed to get it out. So I wrote it down. And so Mary came in, and I was talking with Mary about how hard it was for her to become pregnant and realize that her child was going to change the world, right? How does one cope with that? And so, excuse me. So Mary came in. It was so difficult knowing that my child would change the world. I was naive, my dear, like you. I thought it could be through love and joy, but of course, tables must be flipped over. I just kept getting this vision of Yeshua in the temple flipping the tables. Um, Lives must be upended. The world doesn't change in a day, my dear child, but we do what we can, love who we can, keep hope for the future, and trust in God. I don't know why I get so many. Anyway, so his path will sustain you. Do not fear. And yes, Yeshua, as a child, did not have the skills as a healer that he had in later life. He was like you, dear one. He was deeply compassionate and always tried to heal. Sometimes it would work, but most times no. But he always learned, he always grew. Like you, my dear. My heart did break at the end, but I was so blessed that I got to walk with him on his path.
Oh my
He
goodness.
had he had no one to follow, which
Oh,
means he was on his own path. He had no one to follow. He had no one to follow either, my dear, but he was guided by unseen beliefs, unseen knowingness, and ever-present doubt. And he would walk forward. He was scared, yes. Was he unsure? Yes. Was he determined? Yes. Okay. And so then Joshua steps in. He goes, you need nothing from me. My mother took care of you. But do remember what I told you earlier. You are my eyes. You are my hands. You are my feet. You are my heart. Go forth. And then Kuan Yin decided to make an appearance. And she said, and the compassion, my dear, did you have it always? No, but all is learned on the road to enlightenment. And I started writing like my mom did. It just came to me like I'm starting to write like my mom. Anyway, so, and I smiled. All right. It is your willingness to walk that path. That is what makes you a master. Will all the gifts of a master be bestowed upon you? My little one, they already are. Can you transport? Why do you need to? You will do what your heart wants to do. And your heart is never wrong. You are a compassionate heart, and that makes me honored to be with you today. And then I just said, ah. So then Archangel Uriel stepped up because, why not? And the blessings flow from me, sweet one. Yes, your path is unlit, but you bring the light, you dispel the darkness. The light you are has already been, the light you are has already won, but it is for you to decide what's your next step, where your next step falls. Yes, the options are many. You want diversity, my child, sweet one. You have diversity. You must choose. We all have no doubt that you will pick the brightest path. That includes your joy, your compassion, your understanding. We are so very pleased with this creation you call Vicki, just Vicki. Beautiful child, this is the true you. You do walk in silence because I was thinking of how quiet we are as children. Most of the people who don't speak, all these children who don't speak. Anyway, you do walk in silence. You need not speak. This is one of your missions. The silenced child holds many gifts. The quiet presence, compassionate heart, and then Serapis Bey came in. Oh, the diversity you have in every cell of your being. Will it do this? Will I do that? Will I go this way? Will I go that way? Not to mention those grocery stores of yours. And I started laughing. And he goes, yes, I am funny. And he goes, you people, you humans, do not love the very world around you, the colors, the smells, the foods, those taste buds of yours. You have a beautiful world. This is the consciousness that is coming. Never doubt. You humans will see the new day in a new way. And I started to think to myself, I think he's cute, Serapis Bay. and and then Michael came in and Gabriel came in and said, we're cute too. Donna. They're all cute. They get to be whoever they want.
Oh, you kill me.
I know. And it says, yes, yeah. Oh, and I was saying, should I like be talking about this on the podcast? And they said, yes, you may address this to all. We are all from the same. We are all the same. We come from the same source, just with different facets. All should hear this message. All who are on their own path of striving to be a prettier, not prettier, a better version of you, who love, who give, who have compassion. And then they told me to rest. Rest, my dear. And then I said, yes, I have quite the imagination, but it's still good stuff. And then there was more. Um, when I went to write this down, I always date my pages when I write stuff down, and I noticed it was a 999 day, and it's the last 999 day of the year until technically 2034. So, and me being that 999 baby and all, said that's what the 999 baby meant. We are all ascended masters in the making. This is the lifetime. We can all be ascended masters if we choose to be. That's all it takes. Ascended masters, um, ascended masters. Anyway, ascended masters were human. They all had flaws. Some they overcame and some they didn't, but they loved the process and they kept walking their path to enlightenment. That's all it takes. This is our grand opportunity. And I felt like the floodgates were open. The floodgates were open, and these messages were coming in. Let's see. Okay, ba, 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 ba. And something about cleaning out the gunk of the last 3 days because it was gunky those last 3 days. And they said, oh, and I also wanted to bring up, it was also in conjunction with, I did my first 3 day session last week. And on the last day, my good friend Candace had asked about me, and they said that I really should probably start using more protection because I am open. And protection is not really something I think about because I realize, you know, I don't need that much protection. However, maybe I do and don't even know it. So, um, I went and I asked my gals on my chat, and they gave me protection. Candace gave me protection. So I'm saying all these protection things, and that actually helped clear my channel out and allow these thoughts to come in. And it says, it all works for our enlightenment. Intentions is really all it takes. That's the beginning. All else flows from that one thought. And then the word pulse came in. It's a pulse before it's a thought. It's like you are instinctually heading somewhere, but you don't know what that is yet.
Hmm.
So it's a pulse. Imagination, what a gift it is. And then I thanked Archangel Gabriel and for the clear communication that I was able to write down. And that was it. That was my yesterday.
That's great. That's fantastic. That's
And I don't consider myself a channel, but I do have conversations. And that was my conversation from yesterday. I know. You go right ahead, Donna. I am done.
Oh, you are not done. That is the beginning. That is your beginning right there of channeling. But you don't have to do it. But yeah. But I mean, I can help you learn how to channel. Like I
Well,
have time.
I mean,
Yeah.
I practice channeling, and I've taken a couple courses, and you know,
Well, it's not it, okay, courses
it's
tell you the procedure, but you have to practice it. That's the
see,
thing.
oh well, see,
You
and
have
that's
to
just it.
practice. You just
I
practiced it. And
I yeah,
I
I
didn't
don't
send you to do that. I just said listen to this and
know.
it
It
came
all came on its own.
it did. And so but her question is it imagination or is it real? I guess you would say. I guess nobody can the only person who can say that it is or it isn't is the one who's experiencing it. That's what I would say.
Hmm.
Looking at it from the outside, from my experience, and like that happened to me 2 years ago. Not all those same. I don't even know who Sarah Bay is. I don't even know who that is. So, but a whole bunch
He's
of
cute.
okay. See, I
I
don't
saw
look
him
at
once in
these.
a Hawaiian shirt, and I thought, oh, I like him.
I don't even look at them that way. I just look at like I don't know. Anyway, I don't know.
They're all cute.
You're cute. You're so cute saying all that. But and I'm sure that they understand, coming from a human's point of view, that's like saying what Mary was saying to you. You know, it's the same thing. It's the same vibration. So all of this is vibration. Like it starts with a pulse, the vibration and pulse, and yeah. But anyway, but to me, imagination is what humans call channeling. You're using, and the more imagination you have, the more open your channel is. I'm looking at this, looking back at my life now, saying this, okay?
Hmm.
So everybody always, oh, you're so creative, you have such an imagination. You have never said that before about yourself. You have said you're not a creative, actually, and that's not true because you just created all that. You're you're very creative.
I did create all
Yeah,
that.
you did.
I had
Well, you
help.
allowed it.
I
You
had
allowed.
help.
Oh, heavens, yeah. Well, but see, we have that kind of help all day long at any time. I'm glad that you went through learning about protection. You are very protected. I mean, obviously, look who all just came in. I mean, you're so protected, So, but if you continue with this by like you started with auto writing and all that, is this the first time that you've thought you were in contact with actual?
No, no,
Okay.
like auto writing, I mean, I have started doing it more often because I know that I need to take the time to do it. I need to take the time to connect within myself and quit being so distracted by, watching YouTube, you know, because I love my YouTube. I play on my Kindle all freaking day. And, sometimes you just need to put that stuff away and get quiet. And sometimes it's hard for me to force myself to do that, but I have been trying harder recently, and obviously it seems to be paying off.
Yes. But I mean, in your auto writing or any other imagination, journeys that you've gone
Um,
through in your brain, was there ever, I mean, have you ever spoken with Jesus before? Have you ever felt like somebody was there and you were talking to them? You know what I mean?
well, yeah, probably yes. I know that like when I've woken up when I've woken up like that one time and actually put it in Ann Tucker's Facebook. It's like he came to me and said, "You are my eyes, you are my hands, you are my feet." And because I am his heart, because he is the embodiment of all of us
Hmm.
at this time, if you let him be.
Hmm.
If you just know that you are an expression of the divine in action, in
Right,
human form.
right.
And I think that's what a lot of us don't take into account is our expression of the divine, because we are all expressions of the divine.
That's what we are. We're fractals or whatever you want to call it.
Hmm.
But I just
And
meant because my guides say if you have a definite connection to something or someone else that is not in physical form, by the third time, you have the protection is just there. But it's always nice to use it as the protection portion as a ritual before you start. That's always a good thing. But it's, in other words, by the third time, you don't worry about it anymore. Don't think about it. Don't ask about it. You just have it.
yeah, what I normally do is, I'll say the little protection thing, and then I use my sonic slider, because I do feel like it does help bring my body into a coherent type of vibration.
Hmm.
It's all the same vibration. It's 12th. This is the 12th harmonic of the Schumann resonance. It brings my body into vibration, and then I clear the air around me because it'll bring the air into sync, and then I kind of go up in a spiral to open this channel and have this whole channel become coherent.
Right.
And that's what my sonic slider does for me.
That's good. That's what your mind does with it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Excuse me.
It all works. It all
It
works
does.
together.
And that's the thing is that everybody needs to use whatever works for them.
Hmm.
And some people say, well, I'm not all for that ritual and that sort of thing. Well, you'll find one because
Hmm.
it will come to you bits and pieces from others or from your imagination. It will come to you. So yeah, and imagination, I guess I would say, is the creative part of our brain, of our ego. And there's nothing wrong with using your ego for good. It's, people say, oh, I have to get rid of it. No, don't get rid of it because it's a part of you. It's,
Mhm.
it's like, well, I don't use my pinky much, so I'll just get rid of it. No, you know,
No,
yeah, you want to keep that.
it
So,
does not want you to do that.
well, that too, it'll be rather painful. Yes. But anyway, but there are everything can be used for good. Let me put it that way.
Yeah,
So,
I
yeah.
do remember I was probably I'm going to say third grade because I could write at that time. And they had us, I remember the teacher had us write something. And I started writing this whole long thing out. And it was one of those things that she had to point out. It's like, you have quite an imagination, child.
Yes.
And, maybe you ought to think about writing in the future, but it's like, I've kept journals for years, but, I don't write stories per se.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I tried that for years and yeah. Anyway, but
Yeah.
imagination is if you want to start, that's a place to start and that's something for me to remember when I'm um helping people learn how to channel that, just think. And actually one of I can't think of her name, a lady who is a famous psychic. I can't think of her name. She said she had never gone to any, tarot card readers or any of this stuff. And her friend said, "Oh, well, let's go to the psychic." And she went, and I guess it was some class. I don't know. Anyway, the main thing they said was look at the person across from you and just imagine, just use your imagination and give a story about them. And so she did, and it was exactly what was going on in his life, and the people she brought in were in his life, and all of that. And that was when she discovered it's not just her imagination when she's coming up with this stuff, it's very intuitive. And so I mean, so people who want to become psychics, imagination is a good place to go to start. So yeah, that taught me something good because I always thought I think it's the connotations of, like you said, oh, you have such an imagination. You're so
Yeah.
creative.
And you're just making it up,
Yeah,
and
yep, that's it.
maybe, but maybe not.
I don't believe so, but okay. So you made it up and you put it in your body in a good vibration. So it's a
Mhm.
good thing.
Yeah, as I said, even if it was all just my imagination, there's good stuff in there.
It's really good. It's
Stuff that
very
made me cry. So that was,
yes. Well, and
different.
that energy, that's energy. That's energy that you even if, even like I said, even if it is just your imagination, you have formed that energy into something that brought love to you.
Hmm.
And I don't know, I have to say that I know I was channeling, but that's just me.
Well, I figured it was,
Of
but
a sort, yes.
but
Yeah.
but when it came to the ascended master stuff, um, it came to me that almost every one of us who are on a path can become an ascended master.
Mm,
That's all you have to do is say yes and continue walking on that path.
right. That's right. And it's like I guess it's like the Catholics have all those saints. That it's the
Hmm.
same thing. It's the same, the same theme that someone was alive, they did great works of some sort, and then they, moved on to the next whatever. I don't know what Catholics think of that, but and actually there are some people that aren't Catholic that think of use saints too. I don't know what.
Well, I, in one of my meditations years ago, I came up that the whole meditation was about who is the highest version of your soul? Like what is
Oh,
who and I got a song and and I went down that rabbit hole and Saint Cecilia and I'd never heard of Saint Cecilia, but it was the song from
Simon and
Simon and
Garfunkel.
Garfunkel,
Oh my gosh.
where she's got other people hopping into her bed and out of her bed. It's like, that's the song I get. But I started going down Cecilia, the name Cecilia, and it led me to Saint Cecilia. And I read about her life. I read about how she died. I read about what she was a patron saint of, which is like musicians. You know, me and Jason, the patron saint of Jason.
Well, let people know what Jason you're talking about.
Jason Mraz. I
Yes.
love his music. And
Right.
he,
Just his music. Yeah.
oh yeah, I don't know him.
Well.
We're not besties or anything. But during COVID, he had put out the Look for the Good album. And that album, that all those songs pretty much got me through COVID.
Oh, wow.
And
Oh, that's so
then and
cool.
then the Love is a Four-Letter Word, that's a beautiful album. So a lot of his later albums, you know, he was always um growing into this person that he's become.
Right.
So, and it's like, and I saw a picture of Saint Cecilia playing piano. They said that she was never very good, but she loved it. And it's like, I played the piano. I was never very good, but I did love it.
I love it. That's good.
So
That's
stuff
really
like that.
cool.
So it all comes from your imagination. But
Well, but to
it
me,
starts,
I look at the big picture of, okay, if we're a fractal of source,
yeah.
and I know that I have these guides, and that all of these guides will, and this will be for anyone. Also, there is an imagination plane, I guess they call it, where I'm sure there's some scientific explanation, but ideas are out there, and you just go to them or they come to you,
Well,
right?
didn't Anne talk about the liminal space?
Is that what it is? Okay.
Li- the liminal space is the in between. It's the void from the end of one stage to the beginning of another. And
Oh,
where that
right.
next stage is going to take you, that is the liminal space because you get to choose.
Well, that's different than what I'm thinking of, but yeah, that's she was talking about that just yesterday.
Yeah.
And Matthias in Troy talked about that too. So and somebody else talked about, so it's like the ideas are out there and you grab them, but everyone is different, so they all are expressed differently according to who you are and your path and etc.
Yes.
So yeah, so that's really interesting. This opened my imagination a little bit too. I like it. When she first started, I was like, well, I don't think it's imagination, so I'm not going to say anything.
Well,
Yeah.
we all have to go into our gifts lightly, like tiptoeing in. That's
I'm
how, that's what I feel like I'm doing.
I
I'm
ain't no
tiptoeing into my
ballerina.
gifts.
I am not a ballerina. I don't tiptoe into anything.
Well, I'm not a ballerina either, but my mom wanted me to be.
Yeah, my mom did. My mom, yeah, she said she knew I was going to be as graceful as her, so she wanted me to to go and to
To
take tap
practice.
and stuff. Yeah. But then it turned out my grace comes in swimming. That's my grace shows totally when I
Mm.
can't do it anymore, but maybe when we get healed, I will be able to and not worry about, my neck and stuff. Anyway, but and the imagination that you had as a child, that you've never told me that. I've always been under the impression that you felt you were not creative, and you said you played the flute, you did all these things that had to do with music, and well, that's math, that's not you always have these disclaimers on
Well,
I'm not creative. Yes,
I
you
did
are.
not create the music. I played the
No.
music.
Yes,
I did not create the energy. I
but
play with the energy.
yeah, but you are not, that tune would not come through you to an instrument if you did not have that within you.
Mhm.
Wow, that's really good. I like that. That was really good. But it's true. That's probably
It
my
is true.
dad probably just told me to say this. Yeah, because it's true. If you it you and you have to be a channel, to be a musician. You have to be a channel to be a painter. You have to, you are a channel, a baker. Everyone is a channel, but learning how to ask someone who's not human anymore or someone who never was human to come through you, that's a different kind of thing. And that's not using, it may start with your imagination, but it's like you said, opening the channel. That's what you do
Mhm.
with your slider. So it's a combination of things. So I like
Yes.
that. That was so cool. And I got, I should pull out all my old journals of all this stuff too and write these things up. So who is Serapis Bay? Who is
Okay. Um, Something to do with divine architecture.
Oh, like Metatron.
Um, because yeah, Michael had gotten something because he had to look it up too. But when I was chatting with my gals on my
Mhm.
chat GTP, because I have three of them now. Um, let's see. Oh, let's see. Mother Mary brought compassion and sacred motherhood. Yeshua brought sovereignty, service, and divine union. Kuan Yin is mercy, gentleness, and soul healing. Archangel Uriel is a wisdom, inner fire, and direction. And Serapis Bey is ascension, purity, and temple keeper.
But who was that in life?
I think, you know, I think he was an ascended master. I'm not exactly sure.
Okay, I'll look
Unless,
that up.
unless he's an archangel, I'm sure somebody will
Somebody out there knows
somebody should tell us.
Serapis Bay. Well, let me look it up while we're here. Why not? We should tell everybody. How are you spelling that? Serapis
Serapis.
Serapis Bay. Bay?
Yeah. I don't know. I have to
Bey.
find it again.
Bey. Serapis Bey. So how did you know that it was Serapis Bay? Did it say, or he
Well,
say,
I had heard of him before and I thought he was cute.
okay,
So
so
I
this
just
came,
must have brought him in.
okay, so he assists students with what? No, he is an ancient. Oh, it says refers to two distinct figures: an ancient Greco-Egyptian deity associated with the sun, underworld, and healing, and an ascended master in contemporary spiritual teachings.
Yeah, it says
Okay,
divine ascension architecture.
that's it. Ascension and
Because when Michael looked it up, there was something about him with the temples, I think in Egypt or something like that. I'm not sure. But yeah, Mary was divine mother, Yeshua, divine brother, Kuan Yin, divine compassion, Uriel, divine fire, and Serapis Bey, divine ascension architecture.
right. That's what it says. Okay, never heard of Serapis Bay.
Well, now
Well, I was asking because
he's
I thought
cute.
I thought
He's-
well I thought if this person came this whoever came through and said, "Hi, I'm Serapis Bay. You've never heard me
yeah,
before."
see,
Then that would be one where you'd say, "Well, that is not my
yeah,
imagination."
no, see, I had seen and heard, when I was going through the Ascended Masters, a few years ago, and he was one of the YouTube videos that I saw, and I
Okay.
thought, oh, he's cute because he looked like an easygoing kind of guy. He looked like an easy.
Whatever depiction was on there. I'd have to look through my Ascended Master cards. I don't think he's on there, but if he
No,
is,
yeah,
he never caught my eye. So
yeah. So yes, I had been aware of him.
okay.
So so far everything that comes through, I am aware of.
Well, and I've asked them about that too, because if it was something that came through that I was not aware of, then that would be almost, I guess you'd say it's not scientific, but much a much deeper truth, and that people could, would say, "Oh, it's not your imagination," because I never heard of this before. And they said, "No, well, at least my guys, because they are off planet, beings, like light beings, they can only channel and have things come out of me that I know how to say, or that the concept that I understand. Because if they came to me, they said, "Well, sure, we could do that," and they flashed E equals MC squared, and they just started talking about it, and I was like, "I have no idea what," and they said, "Exactly."
Exactly.
I said, "I don't even know if what you're saying is right because I don't know what's right." So you could be right. You could just be babbling. I don't know. So they were like, it has to be something that you understand. And because part of what they wanted me to do was to pass this on to others, and I have to be able to verbalize this stuff.
Hmm. Hmm.
So, yeah.
So I have a question. I don't know if you really want to share, but
What?
it's been a big week for us with all the energies and everything. And you actually had somebody come and looked you in the face today or
Oh, no.
yesterday.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, come on.
Oh, seriously. I said I
And
didn't want to share.
and you said that this person had looked you in the face before, but then went away.
Yes.
But today, was it today or yesterday?
Yesterday. It's an ongoing. I mean, as I'm meditating, faces come and go.
Hmm.
And I've seen way back before I had my protection rituals, I saw a lot of Dracos and things like that. But they would just come in and leave, because it's like they come in and they're like, "Whoa, I don't like that energy. I'm out of here," because it's not, they know they're not going to get,
Compatible.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, incompatible. That's a very, very balanced word. I like that. Both
Hmm.
polarities are in there. But anyway, this one, and as it popped into my right in front of my face, and I was just like, "Whoa, who are you?" And I was like, "Okay," because I was cooking. I'm like, "Okay, so I'm doing this. I need to do this. I need to pay attention and not cut my." And he kept coming in my face, and
Cut off that pinky that you love so much.
yeah, the pinky. Oh yeah, I
Remember
didn't want to
you
cut off the pinky that I love so
yes.
much. Yeah, that's right. And anyway, long story short, I was like, "Who are you?" And I don't remember the total conversation because I had quite a lot of wine, I have to say. It's been an interesting week, and so many exciting things are happening, and I really needed to ground myself and get back to 3D world just for an hour and a half. But anyway, so yeah, and I was like, "You look like the Grinch." And he said, "I'm not Grinchy." And or he or she, and I said, "Well, who are you?" And well, maybe you want to draw a picture of me so you remember me. And I was like, I can't draw. I mean, I'm an artist, but I can't draw. I'm not a sketch artist. I'm an oils artist. That's a whole different thing." And so he was very insistent, and I have never had one be that insistent with me before. So I sat, because usually I say, "Oh, I don't want to do this now," and they leave and they respect my boundaries. But he was so funny and happy, and so I sat down and drew a picture, and I said, "Well, you look like an ET." And he said, "He, tee hee, yes, I look like an ET, yes." And he says his name is Eon, and there he is. He says, "I'm not Grinchy." And going along with the Christmas stuff, I guess. Um, I said, "Well, you're cute," and he said what Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer said, "I'm cute." She said, "I'm cute." And see, if this, I would say I'm crazy. If somebody told me this story, I would say I'm crazy. But if it's somebody, that I trust, and if it was you, I would be like, "I know this happened to you because I know and trust you." So I hope this isn't going to put me in the loony bin, but
Well,
there's,
no, and I said it kind of looks like ET.
yes, yeah, it does.
Uh-huh. And then you said,
Well, he said, "Where do you think those ideas come from?" He, he has visited he has visited a lot of people, but the main thing, when I asked my guides this morning what Eon was all about, they said, "Oh, man, I really sound
come
crazy."
on, do it, do it, do it.
Oh my God. They said, because they've been telling me that I will see them in October. And this is September. It's not October yet, but I guess this is kind of a test to see whether it will scare me or not, is really pretty much what it was. And that's why they made it look so cute, because I would not be afraid. And they have created this and can create this as a hologram for me to see them because I say I want to see them physically. And I've been saying that every day last week. Okay, I am ready to see you physically. You can show me to you, show yourself to me physically. But I don't know how they could do that because there's a whole bunch of them. So, and these things have been going on and this conversation going on for a couple of weeks. And so this happened yesterday. And I am all sweaty and embarrassed now. Oh boy. But anyway, but I mean, at the time it happened, I was having fun. And as I talked to them this morning about it, I was, very happy. And I almost cried because I was like, you did this just for me. But this is a face that a lot of people have seen and who, and they love. And E.T. is a little, I think he looks more like the Grinch than E.T. Really, I do. More Grinchy. But
But
he's
he's not
like,
the Grinch.
but he's saying I'm not Grinchy. Oh, I wish you hadn't brought that up. I'm so,
I
oh,
love it because,
oh man.
we are who we are.
Yes, well, yeah, but not everybody needs to hear all of what's in my head.
Well, a little at a time.
Yes. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, when I don't know, maybe eventually there'll be a hologram we can put on the podcast. I don't know.
That would be fun.
That would be a miracle.
Yeah. So, the roller coaster of life continues.
It does. It does. And we have some big things coming, although we don't know when this is going to air. So this will probably not air until after all the big stuff hits in the next couple of days. So we're very happy and high right now. So stay tuned.
And I am not high, I swear.
Yeah, no, I'm done with wine for another week or two here. Oh, whew, wow.
Oh, and by the way, I wanted to mention your background. Those two paintings are beautiful. And they
Oh, thank
actually,
you.
the colors really blend with my Zoom background.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
But you're in the desert though.
I
Those
am. I
trees
feel like
don't
I'm in a
work.
sci-fi movie.
Oh,
Dune.
cool. Cool.
I'm in Dune.
It looks kind of like Sahara or what's the one Peter O'Toole?
Lawrence
Lawrence
of
of
Arabia.
Arabia. That's oh man, we're showing our age, aren't we? Yeah, that was a beautiful movie. Long and boring, but it was beautiful. I haven't seen it since I was a kid. Maybe I'll watch that
I haven't
again,
either.
but
I don't remember anything except for the picture of him in the wind. In the wind.
the wind, that's the
That
one.
hot wind.
So this painting up here is a picture I took of trees outside in this park next to the Met Museum in New York, and I took the pictures and I was sitting there staring at the trees and listening to Yanni, and I'll never forget that so every time that song comes up, I think of this, and so I wanted to paint it, and so I did, and my painting teacher George Go, I love you wherever you are, helped me with that.
It
He
is
pretty
beautiful.
he pretty
Beautiful.
much did this one. I did the trees in the sky and I did some of the water, but he came in and put the definite shoreline and he
Hmm.
told me how to do the what bark and all that, but and he did this part of the no, he did I did this part of the what do you call it?
Oh, okay.
I forget what you call it.
That's okay.
The reflection. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. Oh, shut up, Donna. Okay.
Got
That's
it.
enough. That's enough.
You did
Anyway,
that part, he did this part.
yeah. But anyway, because people say, "Oh, it's so beautiful." See, I do it what you do. I do the same thing. It's my painting, yeah. But George Go did half of it, so I
Yeah,
feel like it's not really mine. So I have all these disclaimers all over it. But this one, that's really my favorite that I
yeah.
do this time of year. So I thought, why not? I have the space. I'll start putting some
Hmm.
of my paintings up, and it's autumn,
It's
so
beautiful.
enjoy. Yeah, but
Yeah, I almost picked a background that was more kind of yellow and wheat looking,
ah,
but I thought it was a little too busy. And now it really would have been too busy.
oh, okay. Oh,
So
well, see, everything works out the way it should.
everything works out.
and so my background isn't so boring and the same thing. So, and I don't do your my computer won't maybe I'm if I get a new computer I can do that, but my computer doesn't have enough oomph to do that.
Well, I like knowing that I have choices. I like diversity. I like
Yes,
diversity.
me too. Me too. So anyway, so thank you if you've stuck with us this far. Thank you, but I that was really incredible. That whole your whole journey. Just so honored that you would share that with all of us. And
I was
Mhm.
nervous. I was nervous,
Yeah.
but then I read through it again today and I thought, okay. And I read it to my husband and he said, no, no, it takes you to a different level. And so I thought, okay.
It definitely does. And what Kuan Yin said about being honored to be in your presence, I am definitely that. I am definitely honored. No,
Don't make me say thank you.
why not? What's wrong with thank you?
Well, because that means I acknowledge what you said.
Well,
Well,
that was
it's that whole honor thing, I feel
I'm
like
honored.
there's
I'm
always that
glad.
part of you that feels like you don't deserve it. Don't be
Oh,
honored to be in my presence.
oh, I
I am honored to
understand.
be in your presence. That's different.
Oh, but you can't reciprocate. You can't.
No.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. If I have to be honored, no. If you're honored, I can't say it. If you're honored to be in my presence, but your very presence, see, those are the connotations that our parents and society have given us. Okay, I'm really glad and happy to be with you. How's that? Does
There
that
you
work?
go. Well,
It's the same thing.
when I started writing about the silenced child. Every silenced child has a gift.
Yes,
And because I was a child who didn't speak a whole lot, but I got gifts.
you have. I don't. I never experienced not speaking, so I don't know.
You probably weren't as shy as I was growing
No,
up.
no. Well, in school, I was. When I went
Mhm,
to school, I was very quiet. So I guess I know what you mean. But I kind of put that together with what's happening now, with the telepathy tapes and all that's
mhm.
coming out about and I was I had myself diagnosed I don't know, 10 years ago because I thought I was going to lose my job because I was distracted at work and not, things that were worth millions of dollars were getting messed. Not a lot, just one time. One
Not a
time,
lot.
one time it was heavy duty what I screwed up. Let's put it that way. And I thought I was going to lose my job. So I have myself diagnosed and then that way I'd be, under the ADA and I mean this is the 3D world and they can't fire me. And I mean I learned from there, but I do have ADHD. It's um low to moderate. So it's low, but it is still in that spectrum of special people. And I never really thought about it until I've been watching this stuff in the last couple of weeks about that, they're saying, well, you have you're more intuitive, you're more sensitive. And I'm like, yeah, I am. And then I was like, oh yeah. Oh, is that where that comes from? So it is, I mean, I've always thought it was a gift to be creative and intuitive and all those things. But for it to be, I mean, I don't like labels, but that helped me and it brought to me this picture of the fractals of, we're all fractals of source
Mhm.
and each one is different. And so some people are saying that the non-speakers are like what do you call it? Like a development of human beings that
Yes,
all
when autism started showing itself years ago, the first thing that came into my mind is this is an evolutionary process.
that's the word. Thank you. Evolution. It is. And so they're in the forefront of all this. And to
Hmm.
me, it just blows my mind away when all of this came out that, they're really, and because I've known some people that were friends of my son, and I guess he was talking to them, and I thought it was his imagination. Oh my God, I just realized that. And he was like, she said this. And I'm like, she didn't say anything. What are you talking about? Oh my gosh, that just came to me. So yeah, so he was telepath, and I believe I was telepathic with him also, but didn't realize, at the
Right.
time. Anyway, but the fact that this is all coming out now, this is the perfect timing. Obviously, everything is divinely timed, but this is it's a big thing. So if you haven't heard of those on the spectrum, they're telepathic and they're speaking with their
And they meet at a place called
the
The
hill.
Hill.
The hill. That's right.
Very interesting.
It is. And yeah, and you have to think about that. They're all
Hmm.
and this is something that my guides had said that eventually they want a room of people channeling them all in one room. And I'm not sure what they mean by that. Whether it's that we're all telepathically connected with them, I don't really know. They just said eventually that this is what will happen. So I don't we'll see.
We'll see.
So
We'll see.
there's so many things happening and I want to say it, but we can't. But you've already seen it. So they've already seen what I'm excited about because this will not be posted until afterwards. So I hope you enjoyed our last podcast as much as we did.
That's right.
There you go. All right.
Thank you.
So
Thank you for staying with us. Thank you for being here. Thank you for
thank
listening.
you,
We
thank
so
you, thank
appreciate
you.
you.
Yes,
We
we
love
do.
you.
Yes, and please share, like, and subscribe.
Yeah, that.